tell you to do now. Now for everyone to take your seats.
All right.
Turn it on and go ahead and tell them to take your seats and come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please take your seats? We're going to start the program in about 1 minute. So if you'll be so kind to just say your last comments to your neighbor and then sit down, we'll start the program. Thank you so much. And we need to clear those aisles.
Now what you want to do now?
Let me put the mayor's. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pontiac All-Star Marching Band, and it's led by Dennis Thompson.
You ready? Good.
Ladies and
Right, right. That's gonna make you laugh. I'm the assistant manager.
You get it. You get it. Please. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Pontiac High School Junior ROTC Color Guard. And now, Trinity Martin will sing the national anthem. Will you please stand if you are not already standing?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
let me welcome you to the 2019 Pontiac State of the City Address. Now, what about that opening ceremony? Wasn't that something? All right. And it was all done by the youth of the city of Pontiac. You tell me that there's not some talent there? There is. All right. And I was so surprised to see that some of the members of the band were alumni of the old band. So for them to come back and enjoy themselves with the other young people, that's all right. That's a wonderful thing. And they called it the reunion of the Pontiac All-Star Marching Band. And then the Pontiac High School Junior ROTC Color Guard. And what about this dynamic young lady with that Whitney Houston voice? Trinity Martin. Let's give them all a big hand. Let them know that we appreciate their talent, their youth, and their dedication to this wonderful city. We would like to take just a moment to thank our sponsors. And we have some wonderful sponsors. First of all, let's give a tribute to United Shore for opening their doors and giving us the opportunity to hold the State of the City Address right here. This is a fantastic facility, and we're glad that United Shore chose the city of Pontiac as their headquarters. Let's give United Shore a big old hand. I tell you, ain't that something? And then secondly, let's give a big hand to Goldner Walsh Garden and Home, who provided this lovely greenery that is on the stage today. You know, Goldner Walsh is one of the oldest companies in the city of Pontiac. And we would like to thank them for their donation and their continued service to this city. And then after the state address today, we've got a great after-go plan for you, sponsored by Gianmarco Mullins and Hardin PC and the Arch Construction. Now, if you haven't seen that beautiful new building downtown that Arch put up, you need to see it. And let's give all those sponsors a wonderful big hand. They deserve it. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Pastor Leland Matlock from the Calvary Missionary Baptist Church for our invocation. Pastor Leland?
Let us pray. Lord Jesus, we bless thee to bestow thy blessings on the city of Pontiac, State of the City Address, on Mayor Waterman as she addresses the successes, the dreams, and the vision for the city
of Pontiac. And Father God, we ask for your blessings on the people, all the events this evening. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, we give you praise. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Pastor. You know, I kind of like them short prayers. I tell you, I like that. Well, it's a golden opportunity to have this privilege to introduce to you Maya Angelou would say, a phenomenally phenomenal woman. And surely she is. Detroiter Gail Perry Mason is a respected authority in the financial industry. Gail is a prolific published writer and has written for local and national media. She has been featured in many publications, including Ebony, Black Enterprise, CNN Money, Essence, Detroit Free Press, the Detroit News, and the Associated Press, just to name a few of the things that Gail has been involved in. She's a best-selling author and has written and published 2 books, Money Matters for Families, and then she had a national bestseller, Girl, Make Your Money Grow. Girl, Make Your Money Grow. Now, I thought about using that when I get home tonight and my wife says she needs some extra change. I think I'll say, girl, make your money grow. But then I know what the result will be. One, I'll be in the doghouse, and 2, she'll say to me, I spent 30 years teaching in Pontiac, and I got my own money. So, girl, make your money grow. All right? So she's just a phenomenal writer. Gail recognizes the necessity of teaching youth the importance of money management. She founded and directed the original Money Camp for Youth, which has instructed over 6,000 young people in the Detroit metropolitan area. And she has mentored over 25 young women who are now professionals in the financial industry. Throughout her life, Gail has faced many obstacles and had to break down barriers along the way. But the one thing that she says life has taught her is that we can accomplish much more when we put aside our differences and work together. Her motto is, opportunity doesn't happen without sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Gail Perry Mason.
Thank you. I'm only talking for a few minutes, but I have to say one thing. Opportunity does not happen without sharing. And sharing with our children are the best thing in the world. And that's I talk about investments every day, but today, and that's all when it comes to sharing. Do you know, does anybody know this young lady right here? Do you know her? Okay. You're talking about sharing, right? Sharing and caring. This is what the mayor stands for. It's exactly what you have done. Do you know 8 years ago, I came up to Pontiac and they asked me to come every single week and teach financial literacy. And guess whose classroom I taught it? Right here. Guess whose t-shirt she is wearing right now? No, I don't have no t-shirts. Okay, I ain't got no t-shirt. But one of her children's t-shirts, one of her entrepreneurs in the city of Pontiac. And this young lady poured out her heart and soul and shared just like the mayor. This is the women and men of Pontiac coming together, and that's what it's all about. And the first word I taught her children is the word opportunity. In the word opportunity is what? The word unity. So anyway, just give Valerie a round of applause. This is a school teacher. Okay, you can stand up if you want to. Thank you. You read her shirt. Ain't that the bomb? And I just want to talk just for a few minutes, and I want to talk about the wonderful mayor you have in this city. You all love her, don't you? Don't don't you? I have to say, you do know it's not easy for a woman to be a mayor. Do you know that? I mean, do you really believe you know that, right? Okay, let me say this, or in our business coming together, and I just want to talk about unity for 1 second, just for a moment. And do you know when I first met Mayor Deidre Waterman, the first person I met who she was with was this lady right here, was her mother. And do you know when people love their mother, that they love everyone? And I always looked at Mayor Deidre Waterman, I always say, in order to save your citizens, you have to serve them first. And in order to lead your citizens, you have to love them first. Now, love means let obstacles vanish effortlessly. And I know every day is a labor of love for our mayor. And I'm saying our mayor, I'm speaking French, I'm from Detroit, but I still consider Mayor Deidre Waterman my mayor too. So if you all would share her with me, since I've been driving back and forth to Pontiac, teaching financial literacy, I can share her too. So, and the one thing I have to say too, and the one thing when you sit down and talk to her, the first thing she'll say is, I don't want anyone to ever be poor. Poor means passed over opportunity repeatedly. So what she does is she brings opportunity to this city. And that's what she's been doing. So she's going to talk about her opportunity that she's bringing to this city. And I only have 5 minutes, so I'm going to end with saying this. I will tell you a secret about Mayor Waterman. You want me to tell you? Okay, I'll tell you this one thing. Okay. Anyway, she drinks, she steals, she swears, and she lies. And let me tell you what she does. She drinks from the everlasting cup every single day of her life. She always steals a moment to help someone else out that's in worse shape than she's in. She always swears. She swears to be a better person than she was yesterday. And she lies down and thank God every single night for every single thing. So that's my Mayor Deidre Waterman. So anyway, that's all I have to say for my quick introduction. And thank you for having me here in the city of Pontiac today. I'm Gail Perry Mason. Thanks.
I was listening to what you're saying, writing down some of this stuff. Gail, thank you so much. Gail, thank you so much for taking the time to come to Pontiac and be with us. We appreciate all you do, and we're so proud of you and what you do. And Gail and I just recognized that when I was president of AARP, she did a lot of great things for seniors in terms of trying to help our seniors understand financial security and financial risks and all those things. So I also want to thank you for all that you do, Gail. Now there's a 60-second video that I'd like to share with you about our program this evening. So let's take a look at it, and I'll be right back. right. I mean, that shows you the spirit of Pontiac and some of the just wonderful things that are happening in the city. Now, we're getting very close to the mayor giving her presentation, but let me share with you just a few things about your mayor and some of the awards that she has won over this past year. She's won the Wonder Woman of Michigan Award. All right, she's won the Essence Magazine 100 Most Women of America Award. She's won the Crain's Newsmaker of the Year Award. She's won the Detroit NANBPW Sojourner Truth Meritorious Service Award. So she has been recognized across the nation for some of the great things that she has accomplished and made a very favorable impression on this city. So let me say that we are moving forward faster than the speed of change. And I'd like to present to you another video that kind of shows the progress that the city is making. Will you help me, guys, with that video?
Able to take a city that was falling apart at the seams, seeming to be going down and down and down, and she was able to turn it around. There were some citizens in the city of Pontiac who were without because of their landlords. And Mayor Waterman actually reached into a box.
All right.
And put them
It go all right?
them and their families warm. That's just, you don't get that from, from anybody who's just trying to run a city, but someone who cares about the residents and the people.
Music is everywhere. It's all around us. It makes our lives better.
This plays about 3 minutes. I'm just
And
going to walk on
certainly we can
stage
see
and
by
I'll be
these
standing there as they turn up the
amazing
lights.
performers tonight that we go away, every one of us goes away uplifted and just inspired and just seeing how we are part of the human core, the humankind.
Hello, Pontiac, and welcome to another Highlights of Pontiac. This is Mayor Deirdre Waterman, and this highlight show we want to feature the job fair that we hosted right here at City Hall in the lobby with over 15 companies offering jobs to Pontiac residents and other interested parties. We did this in conjunction and partnership with Michigan Works.
Good, how are you? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. We're about to start here this town hall on Proposal 1 about the implementation of medical marijuana here in Pontiac.
Hello, this is Mayor Deirdre Waterman here in the city of Pontiac, and I'm here with a number of our staff who want to talk to you about the medical marijuana process that's going on in the city of Pontiac. And it has been my purpose all along to conduct this period with an open process where people have been involved in the discussion as well as with integrity. I think it's important for me to know what the citizens want and not have ordinances and other documents written by discussions in back rooms.
We would design a garden to move the lanterns that used to be on top of the Phoenix Center to City Hall, which is a more approachable and visible public space.
Okay.
This is Tim Travis from Golden Wash Garden and Home in Pontiac. This is a very exciting day for Pontiac. We are finally lifting the lanterns and the statuary off the Phoenix Center to go to its new home at a garden that we designed at City Hall today. This is a signature year for Pontiac and our sister city, Kusatsu, Japan. We're celebrating the 40th anniversary of the relationship, and in commemoration, we are moving these lanterns to the new garden with some other
And on behalf of the city of Pontiac as mayor, thank you to your mayor who signed this memorial some years ago.
ポンティアク市市長、草津市市長、2人の思いがここでつながって、今これがあります。
We are now going to unveil first Thank you all. And here we are at my 6th State of the City address as I stand proudly and humbly before you as your first consecutively elected mayor since we've had the strong mayor form of government in Pontiac. I thank you all for coming to hear about the triumphs, the challenges, and the opportunities in Pontiac. We're proud of our automotive heritage here, and we're taking that legacy and building an inclusive, diversified community here at the epicenter of autonomous vehicle development and mobility innovation, and receiving recognition as an emerging tech hub city. We're strategically located right here in the center of Oakland County. We are also developing as a transportation hub with a converging highway system, a train and bus line right here, and a mainline connection, which is Woodward Avenue, that connects us directly with the commercial center of the state. You've been wonderful, Tom Kimball. Where are you, Tom? Around here backstage. You've been our ever scintillating master of ceremonies now for the 6th year. Thank you. You have also been the linchpin of a strong partnership we have with Oakland University called the Oakland University Pontiac Initiative. Unites Oakland University with Pontiac in academic excellence with urban achievement. So it's now in its 5th year under the full support of your visionary president, Ora Hirsch Peskovitz, a wonderful leader. And I think here tonight is Glenn McIntosh, who is the Dean of Students, the Dean of Inclusion and Diversity, and a little other things here. So Gail, take that message back to Dr. Peskovitz. I know she had a recent death in her family, but we do send her our regards and our thanks for being a strong partner for 5 years. Now, wasn't Gail Perry Mason fabulous in her remarks? Yes. She's not only an investment advisor and a financial wizard, but also my good friend, as you know. She had me a little worried there when she was talking about the swearing and lying bit, but I thought, knowing her as a good friend for all these years, I thought it would come out all right. She has sponsored amazing financial literacy programs for youth, including flying one group to a special board session as the guest of Warren Buffett. Now that's being connected, all right? Yes. Thank you also, Pastor Leland Matlock, for starting us off with a moment of reflection and prayer. You are there at almost every council meeting, and it's reassuring to me to see your quiet but observant manner. And every now and then I catch a quizzical look on your face that seems to convey, what the heck is going on here? And aren't we proud of our young talent? Yes. Trini Morton has a sensational voice and a great career ahead of her if she chooses to follow her musical talents. And our special thanks to Sergeant Ernest Matthews and Sergeant Wilbur Jones and the Pontiac High School Junior ROTC for serving as color guards. It makes us remember, yes. It makes us remember why we are so proud to be Americans. But didn't you also love the cadences of the Pontiac All-Star Marching Band, which we united specially to prepare for this State of the City address? I'm thrilled that they chose this occasion of my State of the City to premiere the reemergence of this native Pontiac sensation here tonight. So they've already gotten commissions to appear at 3 other events this summer, so you'll have a chance to see them. And I'm extremely grateful to Dennis Thompson and Nikita Porter, who put this together in just a few short weeks, along with Deshara Jeter from DFDA, who led the majorettes. Aren't they amazing? Yes. And help me give a special recognition to my dear 97-year-old mother, Dorothy Bird Holloway. I draw so much strength from my mother. Recently, she has been battling some health issues, but she is a warrior and has prevailed, and I'm so grateful that she joined us tonight. She is very precious to her family, including her 6 grandchildren, for whom she's never missed a graduation. Yeah. Mom, I love you, and I appreciate you for being the consummate example. Of a woman of integrity, strength, and fortitude. Thank you for being the wind beneath my wings and being the matriarch of our family. So we've got other Pontiac natives who are rounding out the entertainment for this evening. You heard the jazz renditions of Quincy Stewart for the reception. Yes. And Paula Michelle with DJ Eric Veazey set to entertain you during the afterglow. And my thanks also to Gianmarco, Mullis, and Horton, PC, our city attorneys, and to ALC Construction for hosting the afterglow for us this evening. Yes. And by the way, did you know that ALC was chosen to be the owner's rep for the repairs and renovations at the Phoenix Center? After years, yes, a native grown business that's been in Pontiac for 40 years. After years of being underutilized and mostly unavailable, wouldn't it be wonderful to envision festivals and other events on the amphitheater of the garage like we used to enjoy once again? Yes. That can happen, and City Council is now deciding amongst the financial options we have to get this done now that the lawsuit brought by the emergency manager has been settled, and this matter is no longer the black cloud hanging over and impeding the economic development in the center and downtown of our city. We want to become a destination venue again. Yes. And the renovation of the Phoenix Center could be the catalyst for that. Let's imagine Pontiac being the parallel uptown to the development that's going on right now in Detroit's Midtown, okay? Thank you. I especially want to give a huge shout out of thanks to United Shore for hosting us here this evening. Over more than 2 years, we worked with the owner executives, Jeff and Matt Ishbia, who were tenacious in their vision of bringing their corporation to Pontiac. United Shore is a titan in the wholesale mortgage business and rising to the top place in their industry with a bullet. They came to Pontiac to expand their business, bringing first 3,500 employees and have increased the number of Pontiac resident employees by 400% since they have relocated here. That's right. So, they are now credited with being one of the best companies for millennials to work at. So I also want you to know the department heads and my fantastically proficient and professional executive staff. I want to read that right because they told me they wouldn't come to work tomorrow unless I told that. My fantastically proficient and, yeah, that's right, professional executive staff who strive every day to carry out their jobs and know their primary purpose is to serve this community. Would my department heads and all my executive staff, would you stand, because I want them to see the people who made this possible, who made the work every day to work in the service of this community. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I thank you every day for what you do to make this possible in the city of Pontiac. Also, to all the elected officials present, I see some of our city council members. Thank you for coming. this evening to support this event. To the clergy, and I see we have a lot of pastors. Would the pastors please stand who are in the audience? I'd like to welcome you. Thank you. To the elected officials, and I know there are many in this audience today. Especially I want to mention what I call the Pontiac Caucus. And this is the group of 5 distinguished women who are representing the city of Pontiac. And I mention Brenda Lawrence, Congresswoman. Yes. Brenda Carter, State Representative. Right there. Rosemary Baylor, State Senator. And Angela Powell, County Commissioner. Yes. Along with your mayor standing here, we are the 5 women who represent this area, dynamic women, and I'm so proud to be part of that cohort. Yes. I haven't had that kind of legislative support since I was mayor of the city of Pontiac, and I am feasting in that. What wonderful things we can do together. We have already met. I had an inaugural meeting of the group in the office some months ago, and we talked about what the issues in the agenda that we want to work on together, including we adopted as our primary theme, women in poverty. And some of the things that we're doing in the agenda that we're carrying in the city of Pontiac are about addressing that. So I thank you. I'm so happy that we're working together, and let's strive to make Pontiac represent the people of Pontiac in a gracious way. Thank you for being here. So distinguished guests, and all of you are distinguished guests, and everyone else who is a friend and supporter of the city of Pontiac, and have given themselves to make Pontiac a better place. And that I want to mention all the people who volunteer for the city of Pontiac, including all the people who serve on boards and commissions who help so much and give of their time. All of you who have chosen to be here this evening and who work for Pontiac in any way, I thank you and I salute you. Okay. So, a year ago at this time, at the State of the City, I stood before you and I shared the Pontiac story. I used Maya Angelou's poignant signature poem, comparing her theme to the phoenix, the mythical bird that is reborn from the ashes that is so closely associated with our city's name and promise. I outlined last year's State of the City theme of "And Still We Rise." The people of this city have heart, passion, and determination. After decades of decline and flight from our city, today we are rising because figuratively, the phoenix is in flight again, and that is why I am so honored to serve as your mayor. Right. I once saw a movie entitled What We Lost in the Fire. Starred Halle Berry, beautiful woman, but I digress. The storyline revolves around an extended family that is devastated by a fire that completely destroys their home and every belonging they possess, and seemingly they think their lives. At the first part of the movie, they are paralyzed by the tragedy and are consumed with recriminations and accusations of blame against one another. However, as they gather themselves through much soul-searching, they began to realize that they didn't lose the most valuable things in the fire, and that was their resilience, their lives, and their love for each other. I think of Pontiac like that. After 12 years of emergency management, the city lost much and were cut to the marrow with decreased services, hundreds of workers and city employees laid off, local fire and police services lost, and many, many more assets that were lost to the city by auction of the emergency manner or other ways. Some doubted we would ever recover, and YouTube was filled with people lamenting the demise of Pontiac, with the last person left to turn out the lights. But like that family in the movie, we discovered that we were resilient and irrepressible as a community. In my first address, I laid out a challenge. It was time for us to be bold, to focus on moving Pontiac forward. I wanted to not only attract new families, but to improve the quality of life for those already here. To develop a strategy for supporting local businesses, but also to engage strategies that would attract and retain a diversified array of new businesses. We are doing great things in Pontiac together. No one can deny that we have turned a corner. New families, and like United Shore, new companies are increasingly choosing to make their home in Pontiac. For the first time in decades, the city is growing. The people of Pontiac once again have control of their government. We are continuing to move Pontiac forward. So fittingly, this year's theme is triumphs, challenges, and opportunities. And maybe a few controversies here and there. As they say in the newspaper business, it's the scintillating headlines that sell the newspapers. So when I first became your mayor, our first and most important task was to correct our city's fiscal course and to get our economy back on track. In this area, we have encountered many triumphs. Today, as I stand here, we have a $17 million surplus in our general fund. This is the second year of substantial financial surplus, again, 17 million. Our administration has remained committed to maintaining financial transparency and ensuring we remain financially sound and stable. This year, we received a clean audit for the second year in a row, and once again, we received the coveted Government Finance Officers Association's Budget Presentation Award, the highest award for best budgeting practices. The first time in the city's history, not only to win it once, but to win it twice in a row. We have earned that level of accomplishment. We have diversified our economy by welcoming new sector industries and are attracting new businesses to town, bringing jobs and construction dollars. The last few years alone, Pontiac attracted 21 high-tech industries and tech companies and becomes known as Oakland County's emerging high-tech hub. We are home to some pretty cool companies: Palo Alto Electric Vehicle, Daci, Peter Karamana's Mad Dog Technologies, Iridetto, Kebediah, The Next Education, and Local Hop, to name some. Many of you might recognize the name Local Hop as you use that platform to RSVP and register for attendance at the State of the City address. Local Hop is a nationally recognized tech company that is headquartered in downtown Pontiac. Like Eventbrite, they can help you with all of your event management needs. But what is so spectacular about this company is that they provide IT and marketing assistant, community calendars, and web integration to Pontiac organizations and groups, free of charge. They moved to Pontiac and sought to give back. So thank you, Matt Russell and Courtney Fields, who are with us tonight, for RSVPing all of these people here this evening and for all you do for Pontiac. All right. Well, I'm glad we're hearing it for Local Hop and all of our tech companies in town. So in addition to sharing the triumphant successes of United Shore and Local Hop, Williams International, a company that makes small gas turbine engines for use in the aviation industry and military, moved just up the street from where we are now, relocating its headquarters in Pontiac and bringing, mark this, $1.5 billion in economic investment. All right. Wasn't a mistake. I didn't say million, I said $1.5 billion. The largest investment since General Motors had 8 plants located within the city. Now that's a headline topic. So I'd like to thank CEO Greg Williams and his staff for making this commitment to Pontiac. Through this commitment to our city, Williams International also provided a grant of $150,000 annually for an education fund. This year, I know, that's a great thing. This year, that fund went to the Pontiac Youth Recreation and Enrichment Center to provide STEM programming offered by the renowned Cranbrook Institute of Science. This program with our students was so rewarding that after our discussions, Williams expanded it to our Pontiac school system with another grant directly to the Pontiac School District for our children. Representatives from Cranbrook are here today, and Superintendent Kelly Williams and members of the Pontiac Board of Education. Please join me in recognizing them and thanking them for what they do for our children. And after extensive negotiations, the long-stalled construction of the village at Bloomfield, 9 years that sat there, did you ever think it was going to get done? Right. Well, as you see now, the construction has resumed and is well on its way to completion. Primarily located in Pontiac, in fact, 78 acres of the acreage is located in Pontiac. This development brings $250 million in mixed-use investment, opening doors to such national chains as Aldi, Menards, American House, Planet Fitness, and a Henry Ford Health System outpatient facility. And with Henry Ford, that brings all 4 of the major healthcare systems to Pontiac. We house McLaren Oakland. We house St. Joseph Oakland, which is part of the Trinity system. We house the DMC Athletics Clinic shortly because it's part of the Ultimate Soccer Arena clinic that they're developing. And the Ultimate Soccer Arena is the largest indoor amateur sports facility in the country, right here in Pontiac. So 4, count them, 4 major healthcare delivery systems right here in Pontiac. That's something astounding. With these new developments, we have negotiated complex development agreements that ensures millions of dollars in mandated economic opportunity for local contractors, laborers, and residents. These innovative development agreements secure needed jobs and job training for Pontiac residents and contracts for Pontiac businesses. Some of the developments you will soon see include repurposing of the former Owen School by TDE Group, $1 million of private investment. UPS expansion on Cesar Chavez, a $5.5 million investment. FedEx Freight Terminal, a $35 million investment. A $2 million medical and commercial development at Walton and Giddings. A $4.5 million medical office and event center project on Old South Telegraph. A $1 million auto care expansion on Baldwin Avenue. Peninsula Plastics, $16 million investment. And Eray, the Korean-based first-tier automotive suppliers, $17 million investment. This is just another example that Pontiac can also have international in its appeal. There's also the $16 million investment of a 140 South Saginaw project, and then, of course, Ultimate Soccer Arena's $10 million expansion. And let's not forget to mention $1.5 million in renovations to the McDonald's on Woodward. Right, that's great. All those count. And what tugs at all our hearts is the Michigan Animal Rescue League's $6 million, 15,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility, pictured here, that recently broke ground. Marl has been a community leader in nonprofit animal welfare for over 65 years. They are simply wonderful in promoting and assisting animal welfare efforts throughout our community by actively supporting local outreach and rescue programs working to combat animal cruelty. I love it. I love it. You gotta love it. The Marl Project, along with the others mentioned, total, drum roll, $203 million in proposed projects or investment happening in Pontiac this year. That's right. That's right. Right here in Pontiac. We also continue our downtown development. We have created a new housing downtown through the Hamilton, a $10 million residential project downtown, and the Woda 5 Carter project, which received MSHDA approval. We have welcomed the new Barbara Ann Karamanis $15 million, 21-bed inpatient state-of-the-art oncology unit at McLaren Oakland. Yes. We have unveiled the new $3 million ALC headquarters at the Eastern Gateway of downtown. This beautiful 20,000 square foot building is the first new construction in downtown Pontiac in more than 30 years. Yes. So. Kevadiah Incorporated, a federal IT consulting firm that builds major systems for clients such as the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and the U.S. Air Force, is currently looking to complete a $1.5 million renovation of the building on Saginaw they have purchased in our downtown as their new headquarters. So as you see, I've had a fair amount of time cutting red ribbons in town, and I keep my scissors sharpened because I want more coming. All right. Let's talk somewhat about community development. Community development in the city of Pontiac has triumphed. We have enhanced and beautified our neighborhoods by eliminating blighted homes and creating safer communities. And we are committed to a blight-free Pontiac in 2019, right? Right. Starting in 2014, my first year in office, the city's goal is to make Pontiac blight-free within 10 years at that time, but we're ahead of the target. In just 10 years, our aggressive targets are almost fully completed. Through partnerships with the state and the county, we have achieved the success, and the positive effects are shown throughout the city with increases in home values, pride of ownership, and commercial investment gains. For example, through reductions in blight, the city has realized average property value increases from $8,600 in 2011 to $72,000 in 2018. Right. And those are significant triumphs. Another triumph to mention is the completion of over $7 million in road improvement projects. Yeah, I know you're happy for that. $1.6 million came from grants awarded to the city. Streets repaired or to be repaired this year include Mill Street, Joslyn Road, Perry Street, Jesse and sections of Kettering, Prospect, Corwin, Wisner, Hopkins, 3rd, and Oliver. If you live near any of those, we're going to get your road fixed this year, all right? As seen in our opening video, University Drive is undergoing a $4.4 million complete reconstruction to be completed by September. Yes. I know a lot of you are happy with that, as I am. We restored the city's sidewalk replacement program, and with a total budget of $600,000 from community development block grant funds, we repaired numerous sidewalks throughout the city. For the past 2 years, a total of approximately $400,000 for the city's neighborhood empowerment projects, we call NEP, has been allocated by the mayor's office. This project was developed in accordance with the city's Moving Pontiac Forward economic recovery plan, which recommends grassroots citizen engagement to help reverse community disinvestment. Currently, a total of 22 NEP projects have been approved for this year. And projects have included such improvements as acquisition of new park equipment, tree plantings, neighborhood cleanups, and street light repairs. Many of you here today have contributed to our NEP projects, and for that, we thank you. Further, with the Public Works, we have replaced 185 street lights, 90 street light poles, and repaired 17 others. Our sanitation fees have been reduced for a single-family home from $26 to $21. No, that doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're a family struggling on a budget, every dollar counts, right? We have removed 23 dangerous trees, responded to 71 damaged tree emergencies, and removed 25 stumps. For our roads, we have deployed street sweepers to clean each and every one of our streets, And we have used 1,200 tons of asphalt on major and local streets, repairing potholes. Right. Yeah, I know that's a favorite. No, that's a favorite on my street too. We have cleaned 1,300 catch basins. We've replaced 61 stop signs, 44 directional signs, and 34 street signs. We also renamed streets in honor of iconic members of our community, such as the late Reverend Willie G. Elam and Ronnie McNair of the Four Tops, and our streets overall are much safer. We have negotiated a new Oakland County Sheriff contract, including 2 additional deputies hired, community policing, and installation of a safe and secure mini station at the Pontiac Youth Recreation and Enrichment Center. That's Officer Rubio. The kids love him there, and we want parents to know that they're committing their children to a facility that's safe and healthy for the children to participate in. Overall in the city, violent crime is down 37% since I first took office, and every year it has decreased. It improves by an average of 11% per year. Right. An important statistic, very important statistic. With the fire department, a new fire truck was introduced with all of the state-of-the-art life-saving equipment. At the Honorable William J. Waterman Hall of Justice, kind of a favorite name for me, which is our 50th District Court, they received an MIDC grant to enhance judicial proceedings for individuals that qualify for assistance and oversee facility renovations to the court, improving the quality of representation. Chief Judge Cynthia Walker and some of the other judges of 50th District Court are here with us this evening. Thank you, Judge Walker, and thank you to the judges of the court. Yes. And the Honorable Kamisha Grant is also in attendance. Must be over there. All right. Judge Grant was appointed to the bench by Governor Whitmer and installed at the Oakland County Circuit Court recently. Thank you both for joining us. So, the overall quality of life in Pontiac is improving. For example, our seniors this year were provided over $75,000 for free lawn care and snow removal services that qualify for assistance through our partnership with OSA. We established free Friday night parties at the Bowen Center during the summer months and at the L'Amistad at the Ruth Peterson Center. I myself have hosted some events there that have been kind of fun, and the seniors tend to like the food and music themes. So we've hosted such events as Catfish and the Blues, Rhythm and Ribs, and Jazz and Jambalaya, and it was great to see a second line of napkin-waving seniors going around the room to St. Louis Blues here. There's also increased popularity and usage of the Bowen Center and the Ruth Peterson Center for hosting events such as weddings, family gatherings, and parties. And we have added to the calendar of planned events designed to keep seniors fit and living active lives. Recently, the city has been offered a chance to repurpose one of the community centers that we had lost under the emergency manager. The current owner-developer has made extensive investment in design renovations to the 8-acre property, which has been beautifully maintained. So feasibility studies are now underway to determine if this is financially prudent for the city to undertake the ownership now, and if there is citizen interest in reacquiring it. So stay tuned for more developments, but I thought that was late-breaking news that I wanted to share with you about the potential and the possibilities. Let's talk about youth recreation for a bit. Very important to me, the education and the support of the children in our community. You know, I started out in politics by being on the library committee that made sure the library didn't close in the city of Pontiac, a library that we would have lost had we not had a millage passed by the voters to keep it open. So now it's one of the gems of our city, and I'm proud of what the citizens did to make sure we had library service in our city. So also, in July 2018, we opened doors to our own 50,000 square foot Pontiac Youth Recreation and Enrichment. It's not just about throwing a basketball. It's also by giving people mentors, by giving them a chance to develop their talents and to explore new skills and to lift their horizons. So that's why we called Enrichment Center as well as Recreation, which is located at 825 Gulf Drive. Since that time, we have seen a tremendous increase in youth that attend PIREC, as we call it. And here you see the summer guide of all the summer activities that we're offering this summer, including a number of summer camps for our children with varied interests. We have given out over 100 bikes to Pontiac's youth with the first Mayor's Mini Grant awarded to Max Out Fitness. And we conduct the youth recreation programs not only with the millages provided us by the voters, but also by establishing partnerships with organizations such as the Cranbrook Institute of Science, Sheriff's PAL, the Lomas Brown Jr. Foundation, Oakland University, Charity Music. And you saw the results of the music program with the Pontiac Alumni Marching Band that came in today that's mentoring young people who want to be part of the music program at the PIREC Center. Also, other affiliations are with the South Oakland Shelter and Touchpoint for Youth. We hosted over 600 young people between the ages of 18 to 25 at the second annual Jam Session, a family fun event held just before the general election cycle ended for an afternoon of live entertainment and sports fun, and to emphasize the importance of voting in Pontiac. At the last Jam Session, we were happy to have Senator Debbie Stabenow in attendance. She was offered to take a three-point shot, but she said she wanted to do it from the one-point shot lane. So I think she almost made it. And we have representing her Jerry Mamaro, who is here from the Senator's office. Thank you for being here, and take our gratitude to the Senator. So together, we are growing Pontiac by building on our strengths and creating new ones. In doing so, we must celebrate our history, our diversity, and our creativity. Here is a picture with our hardworking deputy mayor, who couldn't have accomplished many of the triumphs we celebrate today without Jane Bias DeSessa. And here she is. And here she is pictured with the Consul General of Mexico, Fernando Gonzalez Saif, who visited and complimented us on how we have sought to engage our community and have programs dedicated to diversity and inclusion. So just look at some of the other successful events we had over the past year. As a community, we have delighted in a variety of entertainment experiences largely paid for by sponsorships obtained by my mayor's office executive staff. For example, the Gospel Explosion concert that featured last year the legendary Vicki Winans that was produced through the Oakland University Pontiac Partnership. This event was highlighted by the awarding of college scholarships to Pontiac High School seniors. Last year, it was through the Horizon Upward Bound program, but this year, because of Williams International Education Fund, we are also offering 8 additional scholarships from the city of Pontiac through this fund. That's going to be July 18th, and this year, our guest artist will be Tasha Shears Lockhart. Yes. This collaboration with Oakland University allows many of Pontiac's own high school youth to receive recognition of their outstanding talents. Another event in Pontiac that we've come to expect and enjoy in Pontiac is Roadkill Nights, powered by Dodge. That's the group that went on the thrill race last year. I can hear the screams. Okay. You liked it then, but I heard you screaming when they took you on that performance ride. With drag racing on Woodward Avenue, and this has become a signature event. Last year we had a record-breaking attendance of 44,000 people, with guests coming in from all over Michigan and abroad who had a thrilling experience. This year, the annual Dream Cruise was expanded to include Art on Wheels, which highlighted some of Pontiac's local talent, and Carside Food Service by Detroit's Doobie Girls. This was also added to the car enthusiasts' excitement. And another event, which has gotten to be a staple, is the Pontiac Music Festival, which was developed as a Unity in the Community event. A captive audience was entertained by the renowned Morris Day and the Time Band, And during the halftime intermission, the audience was wowed by the Do Your Best Bird dance competition between local residents and City of Pontiac employees. Boy, that was a gas. And speaking of the Pontiac Music Festival, this year we will expand the festival for 2 days, both September 27th and September 28th at the beautiful Flagstar Strand Theater. And today, as promised, I am announcing the lineup of confirmed national artists and bands, which are gospel, great, Tasha Page Lockhart, okay, for the Gospel Explosion. And for the first night of the Pontiac Music Festival in September, it will be the legendary hit funk and R&B band Cameo. On the second night of the Pontiac Music Festival, we will have the combined entertainment group of that fine artist Eric Benet. Don't all you ladies try to sit in the front row now, along with Raheem Devon. Yes. So it shows that we work hard in Pontiac, but we like to have fun, and we like to have musical and aesthetic value here in the city of Pontiac. So please join us for the afterglow immediately after the ceremony tonight, where we will announce the winners of the VIP experience of these upcoming events. So each of you should have received a ticket. Hold on to that, because we'll be taking a drawing for each of you for each of these events. All right, now I'd like to talk about the partnerships which we have established in the last few years that have helped to propel our progress. We have established partnerships with funding institutions making access to capital more achievable, such as the Flagstar Bank Partnership, under the guidance of its marvelous president, Sandro Dinello. He has committed $10 million to Pontiac and has been the catalyst for other investors to follow suit. Through the Flagstar Bank Partnership, $10 million in grants over a period of 5 years continues to be awarded for small business opportunities and development. Some of the triumphs of this partnership include an additional $8 million in private investment beyond the initial commitment that had been pledged. Approximately 40 businesses and promising entrepreneurs are pursuing their dreams and can support their families. And these are some of the businesses that have been awarded some of those grants. Another 850 high school students can now graduate with certifications that will lead them to careers in manufacturing or a readiness to pursue college. Yes. And in our city, where still nearly 65% of all residents are renters, 90 families who previously rented in Pontiac now own their own homes. This partnership with Flagstar was made possible with the collective efforts of Oakland County Treasurer Andy Meisner, and Bill Sullivan, who are here with us tonight. Thank you for joining us, and also to our Oakland County Prosecutor, Jessica Cooper, who I also see in the audience this evening. And I'd also like to recognize the support of many Oakland County administrators under the leadership of Oakland County Executive Brooks Patterson, who is represented here tonight by Tim Meyer. All right, let's recognize them. Another triumph is the remarkable partnership between the city and Oakland University, the OU Pontiac Initiative, which I mentioned before. We are proud to celebrate the 5-year anniversary of our meaningful alliance that has significantly enriched both the university and the Pontiac community. Over the course of the last 5 years, we have mobilized more than 400 individuals and 75 community organizations and approximately 50 initiatives and projects for the mutual benefit of both entities. And the operative word is mutual here. The OU Pontiac Initiative introduced a key initiative this year called the Community Impact Sponsorship Awards. This program enabled us to create and engage more community partners by awarding funds to groups who applied. The project funds were awarded on the basis of their impact in any of the 6 established pillar areas of community benefits. This year has marked the launch of the Pontiac Jobs Pipeline Job Fair in collaboration with Michigan Works, another partnership we've initiated. For our initial event at City Hall this past April, 20 different companies participated and over 100 residents attended. 100% of the candidates surveyed reported that the fair helped with their job search and that they would recommend the fair to others. So we have decided to host these events now quarterly. And this complements our jobs pipeline that over 30 Pontiac businesses currently recruit from. And a shameless plug for the jobs pipeline, 248-758-JOBS. We started this 2 years ago at City Hall to connect Pontiac residents and businesses to the job and contract opportunities offered by new businesses in town. Now, there are some people who are quite exemplary in their benefits to the city, and today we've chosen those who have, through their exemplary efforts, stood up for Pontiac's future by engaging in actions or leadership activities that have helped to move the city forward. Today, I'm initiating an award called Partners in Progress to identify and recognize those who have contributed in so many ways toward the betterment of our community. As the city of Pontiac is moving forward to rebuild and transform our city, we are proud to present our Partners in Progress and recognize these individuals and organizations who either create a program or environment that fosters the spirit of unity and inclusiveness in the community, or who provided exemplary service to the community that has a far-reaching effect on the citizens of Pontiac, or who created innovative ideas and solutions that enhance capabilities to grow the city of Pontiac, and who have provided community business engagement solutions that impact positive public awareness about the city of Pontiac. I'm going to announce those awards now, and we'll ask the recipients to come to the stage as their award is announced. Our Deputy Mayor, Jane Bias DeSessa, is assisting me in distributing these awards. The first awardee I'd like to come to the stage is Kathleen James, President and founder of Friends of the Pontiac Parks Association. The Friends of the Pontiac Parks Association is a group of Pontiac residents who have organized to advocate and pursue funding to upgrade, maintain, and promote city parks. Minister Kathleen James founded the association in May 2012, and she told me she got the idea from the Friends of the Pontiac Library that I had formed, and she thought she could do the same for the parks. And she has made such a difference and has assured that city parks are safe and good places for recreation. I'm going to present now the award to Friends of the Pontiac Parks, Kathleen James. All right. There you are. Thank you so much. Here, we're going to step over here and take a picture with you. Jane? Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you very good. The next award goes to someone who is, we've known quite well. You saw him in the videotape. He was instrumental in doing the Japanese Garden, which was a 40th anniversary celebration present for our visiting guests from Kusatsu, our sister city in Japan. He is president of Golden Wash Garden and Home, which is the longest existing business in the city of Pontiac. All right. It's been a full-service landscape company in Oakland County for over 66 years and relocated to the former Pierce Floral Greenhouse property in 1988 in the historic district of Pontiac. So, Tim Travis is here to accept the award, and let's congratulate him for all that he's done for the city of Pontiac. Here we go. Let's do it together.
Thank you.
All right. Great. Don't drop it. Next, we have a true friend of mine, and she does so many things in the city. She is... Well, everybody seems to know her. But Rosa Randolph is a dynamic and successful entrepreneur with more than 40 years of food management service. She honed her food service management skills during a 19-year career at several major medical facilities, including Crittenden Hospital, Detroit Receiving Hospital, and Grace Hospital. What we know her for is providing the Meals on Wheels and the meals and taking care of our seniors, right? So Rose is the owner and president of Unique Food Management Incorporated, located right here in Pontiac. So Rosa, you've been a great friend and just a mentor, has hired so many young people, have taught them how to survive in this food industry business. And you are, I know you have done so many events for Pontiac, it's uncountable. So we thank you for your service and for looking after our seniors. She provides over 25,000 meals a week, all right? So that's amazing. But you look lovely. Here you go. Let's step up a little bit. All right, I'll drop it. Someone also known to many of us, and that is our county treasurer, Andy Meisner. Yes. Andy Meisner has held the position of Oakland County Treasurer since 2009. Andy puts his focus on preserving property values, preventing mortgage and tax foreclosures. He's put so many programs to keep people in their homes when they fall behind in their taxes. He has a real service sense. And he's worked with us to eliminate blight by making sure the condemned homes that he owns, and at one time, the county was the largest homeowner in the city of Pontiac. So he has done that and has made sure that those condemned homes get at the land bank. And when we had hardest hit money, he was able to help us rid the city of blight. He has served 3 terms as a member of the Michigan House of Representatives before becoming the Oakland County Treasurer. And the Oakland County is sitting on a pretty good nest egg right now. He knows how to make the money grow. So we're happy that he is our treasurer. Congratulations, Andy. All right.
Thank you.
You made it good.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Our next awardee is an organization that I know well. I was a charter member. And for 32 years, this organization has had Pontiac as its service area, in which they have provided services, mentoring, activities, and programs in 4 areas: services to youth, services to the arts, national and international trends. The Links Incorporated, this chapter, was chartered on May 17, 1981, and provides service through its 340 chapters throughout the United States and abroad. So this is a group of charitable women who have service to the community as their primary goal. One of their other projects affecting Pontiac was to build a reading room and establish reading programs at the Pontiac Public Library. For a long time, underwriting the efforts of the Friends of the Pontiac Library. They have equipped a classroom at the Women's Survival Center in Pontiac, provided college scholarships, and have done so many other services to the city. And I do thank them. They are my sister Links, and here to represent them is Gloria McDonald. Thank you for the Oakland County Links. Yeah. Here's Gloria. Thank you, my dear. You're good, thank you.
Sweet.
Here you are. I'm just helping you all.
Thank
All right. We've talked a lot about blight and how important that was for making our neighborhoods safer, for making them more beautiful, for restoring pride in our neighborhoods, and for making sure that our property values were going up and our investment was protected. We had talked about the fact that we started this program back in 2014 and we're committed, along with the dedication of City Council, to make sure that our block grant funds could be used to ridding the scourge in the city of Pontiac, where neighborhoods were pockmarked with festering condemned homes. We didn't want that to continue, and we decided to put our heads and commitment to it to do this in 5 years. One of the people who has been such a helpful founder of the Blight Authority and so helpful to the city of Pontiac in achieving this is Bill Pulte of Pulte Capital Industries. Bill Pulte gave us the resources and the insight and the expertise to be able first to do the survey of the whole city using the Loveland survey technology, and also gave us expertise and resources to make sure we could take care of these 900 some abandoned, festering homes that needed to be removed in our community. He is a national influencer in urban revitalization and is often on MSNBC, Fox News, and CNBC for his demonstrated work. I want you to give him a round of applause because he has contributed so much to Pontiac. Our neighborhoods are better, safer, cleaner because of the help he has given us through the Blight Task Authority. Thank you, Bill. You made it. Thank you so much for coming.
I like your jacket.
Let's step out. Here you go. I'm gonna let you. Okay.
Thank you.
One more time.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you. Now, there's so many of our Greek organizations that have contributed so much to this community. I know, Brenda, please. I know you're happy. She's jumping out of her seat here. So there's so many, and I know my AKAs are going to wonder how they were not chosen. I love you guys, you know, Kappas, Iotas, all of you. But they had done so many things. I had to put all these names in a hat, and that's why I chose. But Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Pontiac Alumni Chapter, holds a special place in my history because when I was chairman of the library and reached out for groups to help, the Deltas were the first group who stepped up with a $500 donation for the Friends of the Library. So for that, and so for everything else that you stand for in our community. It's a service-based organization, for those of you who don't know about the Delta Alumni Chapter, who are located in Pontiac as well in the surrounding areas and throughout the country. They have a proud legacy, and we're in the office with a contingency maybe a few weeks ago saying what more could they do for community service projects in Pontiac. They've been partners with local churches, community groups, and other nonprofit organizations and programs that promote human welfare throughout Pontiac and the surrounding communities. I would like, I think it's Monica Scott and Sanjia Wiggins, who are here to accept the award for their chapter. Brenda Carter's sitting over there. All right, Brenda, come on up. Another Delta. Here she comes. Wearing red, of course. Oh, there, look, there they're all standing there. I heard the, bring up your whole contingent. All right, thank you, Ann. Thank you. Bye-bye. You're good. I saw you. I see you. And the last awardee for the evening, last but very important, is the Oakland County Ministerial Fellowship. It is a group of us, right. This is a ministerial fellowship. It's a nonprofit 501c4 organization that is a fellowship of Oakland County pastors from a variety of backgrounds and denominations. The church community is very strong in Pontiac, and the Oakland County Ministerial Fellowship was so instrumental to my career. When I was an ophthalmologist and wanted to help the city in various ways, I had a group of pastors who came to me and said, look, we know that politics isn't your necessarily upbringing, but we would like to recruit you to run for mayor. And after a number of months, I decided maybe I could do that. I could have the calling. And they said, we'll always stand behind you, we'll support you, because we realize that Pontiac is in a rough position right now. So there were some who agreed to that and have fallen true to that word, and I respect them for that, for the fact that they want to have an impact on making a better city. And their president right now is Douglas P. Jones, pastor of Welcome Missionary Baptist Church. And he is with the first vice president, Pastor Teresa Lee, who is here with him as well. All right. You two gonna hold this together?
Let Pastor Jones, he's the president.
All right. And we'll step up a little bit. Okay, you got it? All right,
Thank you.
very good.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, so that's an exemplary group, and there's so many who do many things for Pontiac. One of the things that people have heard the call about Pontiac moving forward, and so many people have stepped forward in so many ways that I don't know where to stop with the thanks, but these are just some awards that we started this year, and I thank you for recognizing them and helping to support their efforts, since they have supported this community. Now, these are established leaders who've got collectively many, many years of help and support for the community. But as we look to our future, we should also be grooming young leaders and giving them the experience to enable them to skillfully prepare for decision-making roles. In my administration, I've hired a number of capable young employees who are motivated and show enterprise and talent. There is a wide array of millennial generation age potential leaders in our community who have shown their innovative, new, and creative ideas to better the community. I've named some of them here who are engaged in so many different nonprofit or charitable groups or projects, but I know that there are many others who would also qualify for this designation. I want to pass it on, in terms of the role and the service and the skills I have acquired. And to that end, I've worked with some other significant community leaders to create a Pontiac Young Leadership Forum to provide mentoring and networking opportunities for such young people with ambition and vision. So these are some of them here, and that is something that you will hear more about in time, because we need to pass this along to people who will help to make the decisions that will propel us into the future. Yes. And we mustn't forget to mention the 2020 census count. We have already established our own diverse Pontiac Municipal Count Committee with 15 different subcommittees. The committee has adopted the slogan, quote unquote, everyone counts, for indeed, here in Pontiac, everyone does count. So as you can see, we have had many, many triumphs and victories throughout the year, and we continue to move Pontiac forward. But with great progress, sometimes comes great challenges. We are a strong city, but like every other city across the country, we have faced challenges and hurdles that we must overcome. For one, we are actually rebuilding government. Of the elected officials in city government, only 3 held an office prior to the entrance of the emergency manager. All of the others, including myself, were elected either during or after the period of the stifling authoritarian control of the emergency manager. So part of our challenge in this strong mayoral form of government that the voters have chosen is that council and the mayor are expected to learn how to dance together again without stepping on each other's toes. Okay? When I first took office as mayor, there were only 28 employees in City Hall, where once we had up to 500 people were employed by the city. Now this shows the organizational chart that I was at the time, and you'll see where the lines are drawn that all the employees, except one, deputy mayor, was under me, but everybody else was under the supervision and control of the city administrator, Joe Sabota, and all the employees reported to him. So you see from the chart that I had a challenge as I approached the mayorship. And this was an attempt to curtail the decision-making power and the electoral choice of the citizens of Pontiac. So as Jane and I plunged ahead, we were not daunted. We were not dismayed. I've always been stimulated by this saying, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So that's what Jane and I did. From the beginning, I made it clear that I would not leave our toughest decisions for other elected leaders to solve or pass along inevitable doomsday crises to our children. And after losing many valuable assets like the Silver Dome, the community centers, wastewater treatment plant, etc., I pledged to the people that there would be no more fire sales under my administration. Instead, we chose a different path. We have been fortunate in overcoming past challenges. When I first elected mayor, we inherited 2 lawsuits initiated by the emergency manager. The first was the City of Pontiac Retired Employees Association, or CIPRIA lawsuit. We achieved a groundbreaking settlement in the CIPRIA versus City of Pontiac lawsuit, restoring health care benefits to Pontiac retirees without reducing 1 cent of their pensions. Okay. Through this settlement, the city averted a potential $42 million liability judgment, which would have left the city bankrupt if we had lost that case. This is such a novel solution. I understand that this settlement makes history because Pontiac is apparently the first municipality where the solution to create a super VEBA through pension overfunding has been tried. So final resolution is contingent upon IRS approval. And we are waiting for the verification of the attorneys representing CIPRIA, who must concur with the filings before we officially make the IRS application, which I hope will come soon, because there are many retirees who are affected by this, who are hoping that they will have the health care insurance restored that they have been waiting for so long. So the other lawsuit I want to visit was about the Phoenix Center, and that was also inherited from the emergency manager. After 6 years and 4 mediations, we were able to settle and lift the black cloud hanging over the development of our downtown. Yes. This is a victory in that the city keeps ownership of the Phoenix Center garage, not losing it like we lost so many other assets, thus ending this lengthy dispute and frees both the city and the developer to proceed with constructive plans for the development of the property as a catalyst for the entire downtown area. This year, Standard & Poor's upgraded the city's credit rating to bondable, affirming that we are on the right fiscal path. Coupled with the same rating from Moody's, this represents the highest combined rating of Pontiac from both agencies in more than 50 years. Yes. Over the long term, this will save taxpayers millions of dollars on roads, construction, and special projects. I intend to continue making decisions that will maintain our long-term fiscal stability. Another challenge has been in the adoption of the medical marijuana ordinance passed by Pontiac voters in the August 2008 primary. After the vote, we began planning for implementation and held town halls, over 30 study sessions and public discussions with residents and many different groups to receive input on how to best benefit Pontiac residents and businesses through this initiative. Throughout this process, we were determined to maintain integrity in the process by having all planning commissioners and myself to sign conflict of interest statements. All council members were also asked to sign, and I do thank and appreciate Councilman Don Woodward and Councilman Mary Petola for both signing the conflict of interest statement. And this was to assure that Pontiac needs, rather than self-interest, was the priority in their considerations. So after 12 months and 4 moratoriums voted by the council, and an ordinance was finally adopted, we began taking applications on April 15th for growers, processors, secure transporters, and safety compliance operations. And in September, we will begin taking applications for the 20 provisioning centers, which are the retail component. So if you want to know what the process is, that's what's been going on in your city. Right now, we are completing the community benefits process to ensure that Pontiac citizens benefit directly from this voter-approved referendum. Recently, I published 14 desired community benefits that the citizens would like based upon all the community meetings that we've had, district meetings, and other stakeholder meetings. So we recently hired an interim finance director, a highly distinguished and decorated individual who has come right in and made a tremendous impact after the city had gone almost 10 months without a finance director. The last finance director abruptly resigned because of the lawsuit the council brought to hire their own private attorneys, something only allowed by our charter under certain stated circumstances. The authors of our city charter, in their good wisdom, realized that having dueling attorneys for each different branch of government would be divisive and harmful to our progress. After 10 months, including an expensive trial, the court delivered an opinion supporting our city attorney's contentions that the opposing law firm had not been legitimately retained. Therefore, they ruled, the city's former finance director had been correct in not paying their hefty legal bills. So that should have been the end of it. But wait, there's more. Incredulously, the reaction of one of the council members publicly declared that the city attorney should be disbarred. No understandable reason that I could understand was given for this, other than that the city attorney had won the case, thus saving the taxpayers over $94,000 in legal fees. Yes. So finally, trial ending after 10 months, I was able to recruit and hire an interim financial director of substantial reputation and credentials. But in a continuation of this political gamesmanship, one city councilwoman admitted calling an alarm to the sheriff during our June 7th budget hearing session, aired as is customary on live stream and on our cable network. This precipitated the appearance of 2 armed sheriff's deputies backed up by 3 sheriff patrol cars on duty who responded to this quote-unquote alarm call and found it was only about the interim finance director giving his budget report. The officers were dismayed. This incident prompted a stern warning from the Sheriff's Department authorized by Captain Ewing and delivered in an open session at last evening's council meeting to anyone who would abuse the resources of the Sheriff's Department and endanger the peace and safety of the community with such false alarms. After the incident occurred, Captain Ewing disclosed to me that this wasn't the first time his officers had been summoned for matters of petty political gamesmanship, and he wanted it to be the last. His officers, he assured me, were not going to be used as a pawn and waste valuable energy and resources in political gamesmanship anymore, and I hope that for the safety and security of our community, his warning will be heeded, and he is right. We have progressed greatly and have much to gain with leadership that can be collaboratively, make sound decisions. A number of times, I have put out my hand in the spirit of collaboration to certain members of council who seem to be leading this scorched earth agenda, largely obligated by hopes of political gain or stirring up controversy and unrest in the community. My attempts to those members, I'm sorry to report, have for the most part been rebuffed or ignored. That's not to say I and my administration won't continue to try to bridge this gap and to have this collaboration. And I hope those of you who are also optimistic about Pontiac's future will speak up and join me in the attempt. Let's not make the mistakes of the past. When divisiveness was rampant, council was issuing subpoenas, and a few of them went to jail. We have so much to gain by working together and so much to lose by not doing that. Right. To repeat the mistakes of the past, in the words of the great baseball player Yogi Berra, would be like deja vu all over again. Let's not do that. So that was a bit of a downer, but sometimes you have to speak truth to situations that you want to improve. But the good news is surmounting challenges has brought opportunities. As I said, last year we opened our new Youth Recreation Enrichment Center on Gulf Drive, opening a facility where our youth can be safe, play, and learn. Our message to our youth must be that we believe in you, we will invest in you, and we will always be there for you. As we focus on the youth of our city, we know that growing Pontiac means creating more recreational opportunities for them. Our young people must be kept safe and engaged. Like the people of this great city, our administration is about action and will continue to lead a city government that reflects all that is great about the people of Pontiac we are so honored to serve. So, I hope you've seen from all this that the state of our city is strong and getting stronger. We are moving Pontiac forward. We plan to keep the momentum growing with your help. We're building a strong fiscal foundation. We're making Pontiac safer. We are restoring public trust in government to make good decisions. We're building opportunities for our youth. And we are ensuring our children and citizens have healthy options. We are creating more jobs and economic activity. We are growing small businesses and promoting entrepreneurship. We are eliminating blight and making our neighborhoods safe and beautiful again. We have a vision for a revived Pontiac that is much clearer than when I first became mayor back in 2014. Do you remember my campaign slogan as an ophthalmologist at the time? I told you that I was the candidate with the best vision for the city of Pontiac, right? I'm appreciative that you've taken the time and interest to come and to hear and see some of the triumphs, challenges, and opportunities that are propelling Pontiac to our future. The Phoenix is in flight again, and I invite all the friends and supporters of Pontiac's progress to, in the words of the former United Airlines, come fly with me. All right? Together we can soar. Thank you for coming. Good night, and God bless.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how it used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all. It's easy to achieve. I found the greatest love of all inside of me.
You did an outstanding job.
I believe the children are future.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Sorry.
All right, don't forget our afterglow. Everybody come. Everybody's gone. No point in finishing. Yeah.